What's up, guys? The Hybrid Gorilla here. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday evening. It is 6:15 in the UK, St Albans. Coming from Fitness First. We are 2 days out from Birmingham. So 2 days out from the start of my 2023-24 Hyrox season, or hybrid season, because I aim to do a few Deca Fits. Maybe dabble in a few CrossFit competitions here and there, depending on time allows, but Hyrox is the main focus. Hyrox is the main goal. So this vlog is going to be about what I aim for this season. In particular Birmingham and Valencia, because they're coming up quite quickly. So I've got Valencia in 9 days, with Birmingham being in 2. It's also the Rugby World Cup semi-final at 8 o'clock. So somehow I've got to try and make it around that course without anyone blurting out or me hearing what the full-time result is. And then logistics to run back to the hotel room, rack it on my phone, and hopefully shut the hotel down at about 12:30 in the morning on Sunday. So then we've got to worry about Valencia and permutations of potentially being in the final and blah blah blah. But anyway, of course that is. So we're here to talk about what I want for my 2023 season, 2023-24 season first of all. So, as everyone knows, it starts in Birmingham in 2 days. So, go back a bit. After I did my last individual pro event in Bilbao in February, I kind of talked with JK, and I kind of decided that I was going to distance myself from him. Not from him, because I kept in contact with him, how things were and how everything was going. He kept me part of his training crew, even though I wasn't actually part of his training. And I just wanted myself to heal, because I had calf injuries, torn calves and everything. So then about 12-13 weeks later, I did the men's doubles at Olympia. Fantastic venue, a mesmeric venue. I'd love to run the individual pro there this season, and I came away from it, but that weekend also kind of gave me my love of Hyrox back, because I also volunteered on that day, and I loved every single second of it, from being there at 6 a.m, ready for the warm-ups, ready for everything, to leaving about midnight. I was there for about 18.5 hours, and I loved every single second of it, and it made me realise that without the supporters, your supporters, not just your inner circle supporters, but everyone far and wide coming to support their athletes, the judges, the volunteers, without you none of this is possible. None of what we're going to do on Saturday, or what I'm going to do in Valencia next Saturday is entirely possible without them. So then I kind of was like, okay, cool. We were about 5 weeks out from the World Champs. Unfortunately, I didn't qualify, and I thought, okay, I'll do my own training for 5 weeks. I can program my own stuff. Then me and JK will get back on board. And I wrote down, I kind of had the start of my 23-24 season mapped out. It was going to be Birmingham, London, Manchester were going to be the first 3. Then obviously after everything got discussed at the World Championships, that kind of changed. So then immediately went Birmingham, Valencia, London. I knew pretty early on in my off season that I was going to be doing back-to-back races. I knew that it was going to be challenging, definitely going to another country to do it. If it was just in Ireland, I think there's a Dublin one next Saturday as well. If it was just in Ireland, then that'd be a little bit more better, but I'm going over to Spain to do it. So I kind of knew that, and as Rich Ryan says, Spain are fast courses. But no, so I knew that. So it was Birmingham, Valencia, London, and I knew I'd be doing all of them within 6 weeks of each other. Then everything else plays around it, whether you hit the heights that you think of, maybe top 15 time or whatever. You've got regionals in Chicago, start of November or middle of November. Then you've got our European regional, start of December. So I have no, after London, unless I did get a top 15 time, I have no other Hyroxes planned until the new year. So at the start of the year, when I planned them all out, I decided that I was going to write down the goals, write down the venues, write down the goals, write down the times, so some whatever it was. So I did. I wrote down my times for Birmingham, Valencia and London. Birmingham and Valencia were very important. I sent them to JK, and he said, I think he said, oof, that's hard work, that's going to be hard work. And I said, yeah, it's going to be hard work, but I want something to push me. And I think them times did, but over the course of the off season, because I've loved it so much, loved the process, and I know it's corny and cliche to say enjoy the process, trust the process. I truly have enjoyed working this off season, training this off season, and it's good not to have an injury in the off season, and you can just train and train and train. I feel as good as I have ever done going into a Hyrox race. But over that time, it kind of changed from, do you know what? Strip back the time. I know what my end goal is. My end goal is obviously Hyrox World Champion, whether that's this season, next season, the season after. We come to that when we come to it. I've got to lay down a good time first before I can even contemplate thinking about that. I was like, what made you fall in love with it in the first place? Then I jotted down what made me fall in love with Hyrox in the first place. Then I said, when was the last time you enjoyed it? And I wrote down when I last enjoyed it. And then I looked at it and I thought, truth, that's about 2 years ago that I last enjoyed a Hyrox race. Then I wrote down, do I have confidence in myself racing? I was like, no. And I don't think anything that I've done over the last 18 months in my Hyrox races have proved any otherwise. I don't think I should have confidence. So Saturday is less about times, more about enjoyment, getting that confidence back again, running, feeling confident, feeling in sync. You and running are one and the same, because I could run a 2 hour Hyrox on Saturday, but if I come away with it and I've enjoyed it, then I've come away with what I wanted to get out of Birmingham. I want to find my enjoyment again. I want to enjoy what I love, most importantly, and I want to find my confidence again, because I believe if I find my confidence again, I believe I can be a hard person to stop. But that's another story. So that is what I am aiming in Birmingham. I am aiming for enjoyment, not a sub 75, 80-minute time, just enjoyment. Whether that's a sub 80, sub 70, even a sub 100. As long as I enjoy it, then I've won in my mind. And also remembering the small victories, because I think I, for one, over the last 2 years have been like this, that I've focused so much on the end goal, taking them big leaps forward, that you lose focus, you lose sight, and it becomes hard when you're not seeing these, when you're not seeing the gains that you want to make, the strides that you want to make towards it. So the little victories. So I started in doing that in Bilbao. The mini victories that I took in Bilbao were the first kilometre run into the transition into the ski erg transitioning into the run, that mini victory there, even though it might not have lasted more than the transition into the second run, that first 7-8 minutes, that was a mini victory in itself, because I thought, okay, cool, I've got that laid down, we can work with this. Then the lunges, transitioning into the run, into the wobbles, that was another little segment. Okay, it was only another 8-minute segment, but it was another mini victory, and I can work with this. We can work with this. When I did the doubles in London, the farmer carries, I just took them and just went, okay, it was only 2 times 24 kilograms, and pro weight is 2 times 32 kilograms. But again, that was a little mini victory in itself. Focus on the mini victories, because at the end of the day, Hyrox, and break Hyrox down, Hyrox is 16 stations. It's 8 kilometers of running, 8 singular kilometers of running. So that's 8 stations in itself. And then you've got the 8 stations. So break it down into 16. Don't think, if you did shitty or crappy on the ski erg run and then sled push, you failed it. No, you just haven't done well in 3 stations. You've got another 13 to pull it back. I think I mentioned yesterday after my last taper session, Jeffrey Adler, this year's CrossFit Games winner, only won 2 events. 2 events of the 13, but he was consistently within that top 7. That he slowly crept up. He didn't take that leader's jersey until the penultimate event. Justin Medeiros, the fittest on earth for the 2 years previous to that, I don't think he won more than 2 events in a singular CrossFit Games, but he was consistently in that top 10. And that's what will get you there. You don't have to outright win a station. Come constantly within that top 7, top 10 in your age group. First of all, focus on your age group. You do that, you'll be perfect. You'll be climbing up the leaderboard better than you know, quicker than you know. Anyway, this is going off track. So I found the mini victories there, and I laid them down, and I said, okay, cool, I want to work on my running. I'll put my stations to one side. I've worked on my running tenfold. What was averaging of probably 4:48 minute kilometers is down to the early 4s, if not sub 4s. So I'm really happy with that. I'm really happy with my rowing time. I'm really happy with my skis. There are a couple of stations, the Peppy Broad jumps and the farmer carries, that I'm not really excited about. I don't actually know. They could go one of 2 ways, to be honest with you. So we play them by ear. They could go one of 2 ways. I might have to focus more in them areas than the other ones. But like I said, it's 16 stations. So we don't have to win everyone. We don't even have to win 4 of them. Just find a median and you'll be fine. Then we'll move on to Valencia. We go out on Thursday evening, I think, so we've got Friday all day over there, whereas in Bilbao we went on the Friday, and we got there on Friday afternoon. So I've got near enough 2 days or a day and a half from landing on the Thursday to competing. So hopefully I can try and get acclimatized, try and get some fluids back into my system that the flight will take out, and then we will dance in Valencia on next Saturday. Then we've got London at the end of November. London, I call it Demons Run, because it doesn't matter how good I feel, that course at the XL just somehow chews me up and spits me out. I think my average time is about 1:49 at the XL, so it'll be interesting to see how I do in November. Then I've got break, potentially Stockholm, potentially. That's not even a given at the moment. not even looking at qualifying for a regional or whatever. That's a potential. I think it should be a potential for every pro athlete that does it, that maybe they can hit top 15 time or top 20 time and you get a throwback. So then it's Manchester at the end of January. What I'm looking forward to, personally, one of my favourite venues, probably my favourite venue, Manchester. Love the old train building of it. So personally one of my favourites, so I'm looking forward to going back up to Manny and competing again. Then I was umming and ahhing about doing Bilbao again, but one of the JK Hybrid Cruise team messaged me, and we have decided to do the Hyrox Pro Doubles in Glasgow at the start of March with Kirk Greer. I think I'm saying his name right. Don't shoot me on Saturday if I didn't. But yeah, we agreed to do the Pro Doubles. So I'm looking forward to doing doubles again and throwing down again in Glasgow. After that, there's potentially the second London one, what will probably be at the end of April if you are going on the previous 2 years. And I don't know whether and some intel says that it could well be at Olympia again, because the same weekend that they had it last time, bank holiday weekend, the XL has been booked out. So you'll probably find announcements after that, either after Birmingham on Saturday or definitely after London at the end of November. Furthermore, I'm looking at potentially maybe Cologne or Berlin, because I'd like to broaden my horizons. I'd like to go to different countries and race this year. I went to Spain last year. I'm going to Spain again. I love Spain and I'll continue doing the Spain courses, but I'd like to go to Germany this season if I can. Possibly Vienna, I don't know. But that all depends on permutations of times and everything, and it's about controlling your controllables at the end of the day, and they aren't something I can control. So yeah, that seems to be my 2023-24 season. I'm sure it will change around. Hopefully I lay down a good time on Saturday, and that's the benchmark, and then we've got to back it up. But yeah, on Saturday I plan to set the standard and set the benchmark for the season ahead, and I hope you all enjoy it. I will hopefully get some filming round of me going round. Then I will put out a preview show on Monday. Then I will show you the tapering week leading up to Valencia. The tapering week will probably pretty much look like what this week has led up to. The session tomorrow is a prime session, so it's just priming up the muscles. It's very similar to the workout yesterday. It just takes away the 5 minute slow run at the start, and I think the row as well, but everything else stays the same, so it's about a 20-minute workout. And then yeah, we go up to Birmingham 11 o'clock on Saturday. Hopefully meet JK and the crew around about 7 in the evening, and yeah, I go off at 20 to 9, so pray for me at 20 to 9, and pray that I somehow don't manage to find out who won the rugby until after I've watched it. But anyway, see you later, and see you later.